From a young age, I've always been active. My parents have sort of tried to get rid of me at the weekend, throw me into like summer camps and stuff for football, I guess. I was quite annoying, quite a fussy eater. But since I can remember, I've always been doing sport, and it's probably the only thing I can remember before I was about 10. I finally got to a decent standard of football and then managed to injure myself on playing linesman in the second half, because I got taken off. From there, sort of a background passion of the gym took over. To be honest, I never really considered mental health until I was about 23. It hit the new year, I had like more stresses with work than I'd ever had before, so I had underlying stress there. I hadn't really had any family bereavements, they all kind of piled up at once. I broke up with a long-term girlfriend. All these things I think just sort of accumulated into me just being sort of permanently negative. I've never had like a boastful, egotistical, proud kind of mindset. I was always anxious, and I think my anxiety and the fact that my brain will never switch off can sort of, I don't know, build up thoughts into something that isn't there and ruin my sense of perspective to a degree where it brings along depression. Being physically fit is one thing. You train and you put hours into the gym and you put hours into your food, but it's something you see, so you see the results of that. You feel healthy, but you also look healthy. With mental fitness, you don't see a reason to train it, or with your mental state, you don't see a reason to try and like actively upkeep it as such, because you can't see your mental fitness.
I posted this on World Suicide Prevention Day last year, and it was the first post I'd done on the subject, or even touched on, to be honest. I went as, I've been to the doctors for a few things this year: fractured finger, buggered knee, concussion, anxiety and depression medication, and tinnitus. There's no difference between the physical and mental illness or injury, apart from one is visible and universally accepted, whilst the other is invisible and misunderstood.
There was 100 reasons not to do it, and I couldn't really see why I did in the first place. I don't know why I wrote it, I don't know why I chose to post it. I didn't know who I was helping, I didn't know if it was helping for someone else or helping myself in some form of way. But I think it's good to get that message out there. I think it's great for people to see. And when not just me posting it and them seeing me, but seeing people from all walks of life commenting underneath and sharing their experience and stories. So now when I do create that type of content, I try and make it a way for people to join in and share their experiences, so people know that mental health isn't an isolating factor. I find that routine is a big thing. If I wasn't to plan out my personal training sessions, I wasn't to get on top of niggling things that I should have done ages ago and let build up, if I wasn't to keep the do list, things do get on top of me, and then I can just try and put my head in the sand. Because I work from home on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, instead of getting on my desk, making phone calls, sorting stuff out, organising myself, I can just turn away and try and switch the lights off. Try and go to sleep, because if you're asleep you can't think of anything, you can't let a negative thought process affect you. But for me it really is not sticking to the same routine all day in like an OCD manner, but finding a routine in the morning so that I wake up at a good time, I go to bed at a good time. It's being open, finding a routine that works for you, and finding a fitness regime that is sustainable, is enjoyable, isn't a complete drag on your lifestyle and your wallet. I think the main take home that I would say is to realise that there will be periods where a lot of things are going to weigh on your mind, or you're going to feel bad, or you're going to feel anxious, and realise that what seems logical to you when you're at your lowest, or the lists that you've built up, or the overwhelming sense of negativity against anything positive or potentially good, are completely warped by the way you're feeling. And then remember the times when you are not feeling that way, and that you see as a positive left, right and centre, and you see less negatives. Know that other people value you, you're not alone, and your sense of perception changes with your feelings.